The eerie invitation on a dark and foggy Halloween night. Tom and Jerry were trick-or-treating when they saw it. A huge, creepy mansion they had never seen before. The grand entrance the moment they stepped inside, the heavy front door slammed shut behind them. The giant hall was filled with cobwebs, and the only light came from a flickering chandelier. A suit of armor stood by the door, and its helmet seemed to turn and look at them. The living portraits as they tiptoed down the hallway. The paintings on the walls came to life. A grumpy man in one portrait stuck out his tongue. An elegant lady in another blew them a kiss. Tom was so startled he jumped into Jerry's arms, and they both fell into a big, dusty armchair. The bookcase secret Jerry noticed one book on a shelf was glowing. He pulled it, and the entire bookcase swung open, revealing a dark, secret passage. A cold wind blew out. Tom shivered, but Jerry marched right in. The invisible tea party, the secret passage, led to a small room where a tiny teacup was floating in the air, being sipped by someone invisible. A cookie lifted from a plate, and a tiny bite disappeared from it. They had stumbled upon a ghost tea party. A friendly ghost, a small, shimmering, friendly ghost named Ghoulie appeared. "I'm so glad you found my party," he chimed. He was lonely, and all the spooky tricks, the door, the portraits, the piano, were his way of inviting them to play. The great ghost chase, Ghoulie started a game of tag. He could float through walls, but Tom and Jerry couldn't. They crashed into each other, ran through paintings, leaving mouse and cat shape holes, and got tangled in curtains. It was the most fun chase they'd ever had. The trap for the ghost, Tom, wanting to win, set up a classic net trap. But Ghoulie just floated right through it. Jerry set a tiny mousetrap with a piece of cheese. Ghoulie, being a ghost, couldn't pick it up. They realized you can't trap a ghost with normal tricks. The best game ever, Ghoulie's favorite game, was hide and seek. He was the best hider. He hid inside a vase, behind a mirror, and even inside one of Tom's puffy shoes. Tom and Jerry had to work together to find him, and they were all laughing. The hungry monster, their fun was interrupted by a loud growl. A much bigger, grumpier ghost appeared. It was Grumble, who didn't like fun and wanted to eat all the Halloween candy. He started chasing them, his mouth wide open. A sweet solution, Tom and Jerry ran, with Grumble close behind. Jerry had an idea. He pointed at Tom's bag of trick-or-treat candy. Tom threw a giant lollipop like a boomerang. It hit Grumble, who stopped, tasted it, and started smiling. He just had a sweet tooth. A ghostly feast, they all sat down, and Tom shared his candy with Grumble. Grumble turned out to be nice too, just very hungry. They had a ghostly feast, with candy floating in the air as the ghosts nibbled on the sweetness. The sun rises, a beam of sunlight peeked through a dusty window. Ghoulie and Grumble started to fade. "We have to go now," Ghoulie said softly. "But thank you for being our friends." They waved and disappeared in the warm light. A peaceful goodbye. The house didn't feel spooky anymore. It just felt quiet and a little sad. Tom and Jerry walked to the front door, which creaked open for them. They looked back one more time, smiling at the memory of their ghostly friends.